Today we are going to shop for tarps, just like I have on the boat here and over there, and boy, that one's all caved in. At a bunch of different stores, I'll show you the different kinds, the different prices. It's 11 degrees. Watch. Let's go. Here we are at Martin's, and you know, Martin's has one of the biggest selections of tarps that I've seen, and their prices are really good too. You can pause this if you like, but I'm going to put this over here so you can see the prices. And coming down over here, they pretty much put everything on the boxes. We're here 12 by 25 tarp for $19.95. These are heavy duty tarps too. I actually bought this thickness, these green ones, of tarps to put on my boat. One of them I've had for, this is going on the 3rd year. Take a look at this, 5 by 5, $1.99 each. So they're nice looking tarps. They have from the very small to the very large, and of course they have all the different kinds of tie downs you would need, all kinds of tie downs, and I think they have more on the other side here. Yes, they do. These are the all-purpose, or the normal, I guess you could say, thickness. The first one's with a heavy-duty thickness. You can see all the different sizes. 12 by 25. So if you want to cover something just so it doesn't get too wet or messed up in the summer, I wouldn't use these throughout the winter over something because of wind and everything. You really want the heavy-duty. So they get some pretty nice ones. And again, on the other side, you have all the tie downs. So between all these here, just to show you again the once over, and all these here, there's quite a selection of tarps. Now their largest ones they have, 12 by 25 heavy duty for $20. I mean, that's ridiculous. So if you're in need of tarps, this is a great place to come. And let's move on. Here's what Lowe's has for tarps. You got a little section over here. Actually, they're nice looking tarps. Reversible. Look at this. It's 12 foot by 16 foot reversible tarp. This is showing the thickness. Actually, it's really, yeah, it is really thick. Black, gray. Huh. It's very thick. I can see that for a building. And that one is $66. And I can see that because of the thickness of it. 20 by 30 down there for $119. And, well, 30 foot by 50 foot tarp. That's a big one. And they got them all the way down to the normal 12 by 16, $32. So these here, now these are all reversible tarps. Now this is a lot flimsier one. You can see it's $10 basically for 6 by 8. So you can see they have the medium or light duty tarps going all the way into the heavy duty. Let's see, what's this here for $19? Yeah, see, these are 10 mil. Does that see how thick those are down there? Those are 10 mil also. Huh. I'm surprised. If it's 10 mil. Okay, this one is thick. What was the one I felt earlier that was thinner? Oh, this one here. Yeah, these light duty ones, these are 5 mil. Okay, the blue ones. But your gray ones, pretty heavy duty. So they have a smaller selection, but so far that's the heaviest ones I've seen, the strongest ones. And they're a little higher in price, but again, 10 mil, that's great. So here's the section for tarps at Walmart. Let's see what they have. Looks like it starts right over here with the, okay, 6 by 8 medium duty. So those looks like $4. That's not bad. And then for $9 you get the 8 by 10 medium duty. And coming over this way, Then we get down into the heavy duty, and looks like it's brown inside. It's actually pretty sturdy. That's $27 for a 10 by 20. 9 by 12 is 17. So these are all the heavy duty ones. 12 by 24 for 34. And the big dog down there is 16 by 30 heavy duty for $48. And here 24 by 40 medium for $49. So they get a small selection, but they look pretty good. So it gives you an idea of what they have available. We're at Harbor Freight, and this is what they have for tarps. Starting right over there, down here. And they break them down, going as small as the 3 mil for as thin. So they got the 3 mil down there, 17 by 23. They got some pretty big ones here. And 4 mils down the bottom. Then they go into 5 mil, 7 mil, 9, all the way up to 12s. Here's the big, or the thick 12 mils, silver and black. And give you an example, 8 by 10, 12 mil is $14. And the biggest one down there looks like a 30 by 40 foot for $139, and that's 12 mil as well, 1,200 square feet. So these are the 9 mil, what they look like. Eight by 11 is $10.99, and their biggest one down there is 28 foot by 59 foot for $169. That's 9 mil. And of course, if you just want to cover some machinery to get it dry, you can go down to a 3 mil, 28 foot by 59 foot for $129. So 3 mil is pretty thin. Then they have a 5 by 7 3 mil for $3. So there you go, the choices at Harbor Freight. So here's what we have for tarps at Ocean State job lots. Quite a few. Now when it comes for attachments, and look at this. They have all kinds of bungees and twist ties and everything you can imagine, and rope. But for the tarps, they have the all-purpose tarps, which are, I believe, does it say how many mil that is? I believe those are like 5 mil. And 10 by 20, so you can see comparatively, $15.99. You got some big ones down there, 20 by 30. Let me squeeze through here. There's not a lot of room to view here. These are the rip stoppers. I've actually bought a couple of these. 8 by 10. These are very thick. Let's see, 20 by 30 foot, 30 by 50 foot. That's the biggie. 30 by 50 foot, contractor grade, $139. 25 by 40. So if you have something that you need covered, you're gonna get it covered here. And here's one of the all-purpose ones, 30 by 60 for $139. So I think their prices are exceptional. 89 for a 20 by 30, that's a big tarp. So there you go. Quite a selection right here at job lots. And here's the selection of tarps that they have at Home Depot. And they have some nice heavy duty ones here that are 10 mil. And here's some 5 mil medium duty. And give you an example, medium duty 16 by 20 for $50. And they got more heavy duty. These are the 10 mils. And 20 foot by 30 foot. So all sizes. Here's a 10 by 20. These are also heavy duty 10 mils, the gray ones and the brown ones. And about the thickest one I see is right over here. There's a 15 mil. They have 10 by 12 for $32. And more of the heavy duty, medium duty. And so they have quite a few of the heavy duty tarps. 6 by 8 for $10. That's actually pretty good for something that thick. 10 mil again. And or if you want the cheapies, the 5 mil, $10 for a 6 by 8. Now the nice thing about when you come to Home Depot is if you don't want to get a top, if you want something cheaper, they have right next to it all the different plastics and the coverings. There's 6 mil clear plastic. A lot of people use that for their greenhouses. So 6 mil is actually pretty good. 3.5 mil. So they have all kinds of plastics over here as well. So there you go, Home Depot tarps. Okay, after all that information I just gave you, I went through all of it, compiled it all, put it through the computer, came out the other end. It was confusing as hell. But anyways, I came up with some stats or some close comparisons that may help. So here's what I came up with. The largest selection of tarps, if you're looking for everything from thin ones to thick ones to different sizes, the largest selection was number 1 was Martin's. Number 2 was Harbor Freight. It was a tie between Harbor Freight and Ocean State Job Lots. So they had the largest amount. Now, the next one, the mills. How many mills were the tarps? How thick were they? And the thickest ones, I have to give it a tie between Home Depot and Lowe's because they both were the only ones that had 15 mil. So most of them all went up to 10 mil. Some had 12 mil. But like I said, Home Depot and Lowe's had 15 mil. Now, I got to give it to Home Depot. The other places all seem to have plastic in different places, but Home Depot has them right in the same section as the tarps. So as you're looking at all the tarps, it continues with all the plastics. Matter of fact, they had a nice 6 mil, fairly clear, kind of like cloudy plastic, the kind that you put over greenhouses. Okay, so that's 6 mils, pretty good for that. And they had like drop cloths for painters. I think that's why they had them there, because painters will use the tarps and they'll use the cloths and they'll use some of these plastics to put on the wall to paint, but they have a huge section between the two. So if you combine the tarps and the plastics, they had the biggest selection. But again, the largest selection was Martin's. And going back to mills, if you're looking for a really thin, inexpensive one, Harbor Freight had a 3 mil. That was the only place I've seen one that was that thin. I mean, a lot of them had 5 mil, some had 4, but 3 mil, I mean, that's like maybe a little thicker than paper towels. Okay, actually, it's thicker. So if you just want to cover things, get them covered because, a dust storm is coming, or you just want to keep it out of the weather for a bit, that's good. But I would not get a 3 mil and use it throughout the winter. Okay, that's going to rip in no time. Let's see. So that brings us to the sizes. Okay, the largest tarp I saw out of all of them was at Martin's. They had a 40 by 60. Okay, so that's like big enough to just about cover a small house. All right. So, and again, your roof might be leaking. So go to Martin's and get that, heavy duty, contractor's grade 40 by 60 tarp. And Ocean State had a 30 by 60. So that was the second runner up. That was a pretty big one. And prices. What I found, again, there was so many different kinds. It was hard to compare, apples and oranges. There was so many different kinds and different thickness and different sizes. But for the most part, I think the best prices were probably at Martin's, number 1. And number 2 was Harbor Freight. Number 3, kind of like bordering with like a tie with some others, would be Walmart, because pretty much all of them had some very good prices. Again, better prices on some than another. You know, some of them, the thick ones are cheaper than other ones here. I know a lot of the thick tarps, you know, the really heavy duty ones, the prices at Ocean State job lots were really low for that, comparing to maybe the same thickness at another store. So I think all around, though, the first place I would go to get something that ranked maybe the highest in most of the topics would be Martin's. They won, and Harbor Freight was a close second. And like I said, a lot of them were almost a tie with them. So hey, it was fun going around covering myself with tarps. Don't worry, I got you covered. You know, I couldn't say that with any other product that I was reviewing like this. So I hope you enjoyed the review. If you'd like to see other reviews like this, let me know. So with that, I'd like to thank you all for watching. I'm going to ask you to share this because I know where you live. And I will see you guys all in the next video. Bye-bye now.